Hello, Dickheads. Richard here. We are still on our break, but that doesn't mean I'm not going to give you some sort of content to put in your ears. So here's another episode of Dick with a Beau, episode number 2. Enjoy. We'll be back in a couple weeks with our investigation into Starfield. Do a month of that, and then we're back into true crime. We got some big season opener coming for you guys. And in the meantime, go back, listen to all your old favorite episodes. Go give us a 5 stars on anywhere that'll take ratings, Apple Podcast, Spotify. I don't know, write a blog about the show. I don't care. And if you really enjoy the show, there's over 200 pieces of content over on our Patreon right now, www.patreon.com/Unethical Podcast. There's all of our uncut episodes of both Private Dicks and Unethical Podcast. There's some bonus stuff on there, stuff getting added all the time. So for $5, can't go wrong.
An elite team of private detectives.
What if balloons are aliens? Maybe that's the key component we're missing.
Cover-ups.
John's guilty.
Mysteries that need to be solved.
Maybe Mormons need mountains.
Richard, shut up.
The arguments and discussions in this podcast are made by people who have the same intellect as me. And I'm 11. This is all for entertainment purposes and is intended to get listeners laughing and discussing themselves. For listeners who can't handle swearing, hyperbole, and just plain idiocy, discretion is advised.
You ever had those ethical discussions with your friends where you're deciding if you should kill someone for $1 billion or if pineapple belongs on pizza? Well, this is the kind of stuff we're going to talk about on this show. This is Dick with a Beau.
That's the sound of money. Fresh, printed money.
Are we slanting some sort of demo right now? Can we slant a demo?
I wouldn't say slant, especially when we're talking about Indonesia.
Why?
Because it's at the bottom of Asia.
Oh, you're talking about like eyes.
No, I wasn't, but I was using what you said to be racist. But no.
Me and Beau just talked for like an hour, not one bit of racism. I press record. Let's fucking fire on the racism, guys.
I instantly put on my big girl pants. Sorry, my COVID's kicking in.
The world needs more Beaus.
The world needs more dicks.
Put dicks in every crevice.
Oh, no.
What does that mean? You don't, what?
I don't, what? Oh, no, I'm just thinking about willies in crevices.
Oh, you're talking about penises.
Well, I wouldn't want a you in a crevice either. Like, could you imagine? I just like, if we're talking about crevice, I got my elbow like this, and then all of a sudden I'm like, oh, fuck, Richard, sorry.
Yeah, but I'm in a house crevice right now. This is like a 6x8 room. It's basically the crevice of my house.
Oh, wow. I'm in my expanse. Sorry.
Right, who wants to start today, Beau?
Ladies first.
Oh,
sorry,
she's ready to fucking give her. All right. She's fucking on the attack already.
Sorry.
Oh, yes. Okay, so
you can, if we can't get to a fuck you, which means it's a win, we find the only agreeable solution. So the path of least resistance, right? Yeah. And then I was going to add in this one, rule 3. If I feel like I'm getting heated, and you're more than welcome to use this rule as well. If I feel like I'm getting heated and annoyed, but I don't feel like I'm getting my point across, I'm gonna say something very kind and nice because I want to just take a pause and a breath because I'm getting heated.
Have I gotten you to the heated point yet?
Yeah. So if I'm getting heated,
no, I get that. But this, since we've spoken. Not today, but in general, have I ever gotten you heated to the point where you felt like you needed to be extra polite? Friday, maybe.
No, I couldn't believe how wrong you were. That's all. Nah. All right.
You want me to do my scenario first or your scenario first?
I said ladies first, so yours.
Oh, this gym class thing again. I see. Okay.
Also, I need to say this publicly. I'm offended. I love Oscar's edition, but I am My IQ is not impacted by my immaturity. My immaturity is like a child, not my intelligence.
Yeah, it's meant to be. It's meant to be offensive.
It worked. I thought it was funny.
He's supposed to be telling us we're both dumb because this doesn't mean anything. We're both children. Like we're like an 11-year-old.
Nothing means anything.
Yeah, just so if for future people listening to this, like, goddamn, we're not experts at any of this. We're just arguing to argue.
Yeah, don't find me. I don't live in Australia. The accent is put on. Or maybe okay, sorry. I don't know how to do a Canadian accent. Damn it.
You got to say a boots and thank you and sorry.
I'm good at imitating, so if I just repeated what you said, I could probably get away with that. But I'll be like, question in front. Wait, let me hang on. Sorry. Where'd it go? Which one are we doing?
I'll tell you which one. I'll tell you which one we're doing. I'll give you the whole scenario. I wrote it all out because it has to be. It's pretty long because otherwise, if there's no balance to this, then it's easy to pick. So I have to balance it out. So I have to give you all right. You and your hypothetical friend are basically identical. Okay.
Lucky them.
For the sake of lucky them. For the sake of this, for this argument, you guys both work at the same intelligence facility. Okay. You earn the same annual salary. You both started at work the same day. Okay. There's no seniority issues here. You both live in apartments that are in the same neighborhood, same rent. Okay. The same quality overall. You're the same age, same cultural background. I'm going to go with white Northern Ontarian because I'm a white Northern Ontarian. All right.
All right. You lost me. I'm not immersed anymore.
Okay. Well, let's be a white Australian
also, I call
lesbian.
bullshit. All right. I'm back in it. I'm back here.
I'm way back in it. Two fingers deep in this.
Yeah, elbow deep.
There you go.
All right. I'm back in it.
You drive the exact same car. Like fucking right to the model in year. Okay. You get it. We're the fucking same. Okay. So one day at work, you both leak out intelligence to Russia by accident. It was both your fault.
Wait.
Yeah.
We both leak out?
We both accidentally leak out highly classified intelligence to the Russians.
Okay. Do I know that you've leaked it? And do you know that
we did it at the same time.
Oh no. Okay.
We did it. We both could have prevented it.
Shit.
We both didn't prevent it. We were both there. We both watched it happen. We're both aware of each other doing it.
Did we deliberately leak it?
No, it was an accident. Both of us.
Did we know that our actions would leak it, or like were we like, "Oh, is this safe?" Or we were just like, "La la 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 la." Oh shit.
No, basically, it was a oopsie doodle. Like you basically look at like, wow, like you look at your friend and you go, that was both our fault, wasn't it? And then my friend would go like, indeed, like it was both. You both understand it was both your fault.
Fuck.
Okay.
Yeah.
No one seems to notice that day when it happens, though. No one seems to notice, and you go home.
Oh, I'm not going to sleep well tonight. Fuck, with that sort of anxiety on my shoulders.
For sure, especially with Russia, those guys are assholes.
They're not. They're not there to fuck spiders. Those guys are coming for us.
Yeah, for sure. So the next day when you get up, or you don't even sleep, neither of you sleep. Okay, you're both fucking stressed out about the whole thing.
I've drunk all night.
You and your friend both have an email from your boss that each of you have a meeting first thing in the morning with an ominous title. I know what you did, and I have proof.
Okay.
The meetings are separate, though.
Fuck.
Yours is scheduled first. Okay? So this is the only advantage anyone has at this entire time is the fact that your meeting is before your friend's meeting. So this is where the conundrum comes in. You could sacrifice yourself to your boss.
Confundrum.
You could sacrifice yourself to your boss and save your friend, or you can just blame your friend when you go in. Both offenses, you get shot for treason. Okay.
Fuck.
Yeah. So let's put it this way. If you say both of us did it, you both get shot. If you say your friend did it, your friend gets shot, dead. If you say you did it, you get shot. Your friend survives. So do you throw your friend under the bus, save yourself, or do you throw yourself at the bursary? Maybe you won't get shot this time because you were honest. I don't know. No one knows the outcome of this, but you assume you're getting shot no matter what.
Oh, wait, I'm assuming I get shot no matter what.
You're assuming that, like, not no matter what. You assume that if you say I did it, you're getting shot.
Right, okay.
They're not going to be merciful, but they might. But who knows? You just assume they are going to shoot you. All right. So I chose throw your friend under the bus, and I was giving you save your friend and sacrifice yourself. Now, thoughts?
Why did I put myself in this situation? I knew I shouldn't have taken this job, and I should have never trusted you. So instant regret. I should have stuck. I should have stuck to my janitor job. I would have been happy just coaching the little league team down the road. I made some poor life decisions that have led me to this point. So I'm angry with myself initially. I can't be angry with you because it was an equal mistake. So the only person I can really be angry at is myself because I'm the only one who had control over my actions. And it wasn't deliberate. Okay.
Yeah. It's hard, eh? I'm going to go with like throw my friend under the bus. I love my friend. But I mean, here's my thing. My meeting's first. We both technically should be shot. It was both our fault. So one of us should survive. Okay. I feel like we can rectify this, make a better life for ourselves if we survive. Now, do I have faith in my friend being that person, or do I have faith in myself being that person? I have faith in myself. So since I know it's inevitable that one of us gets shot, I'm blaming them. And I know it doesn't sound the nicest maybe, but I mean, how do I know they're not just going to, if their meeting was first, they wouldn't have just thrown me under the bus. This is what I call like preemptive strike. You know, this is American military tactics.
Yeah. You know? I'm happy to try and argue throwing myself under the bus, but I think I agree with you. I think I agree with like, but you just can't. Why did I put myself in this position? Why did I let the leak get out? I should never have worked in intelligence. I should never have gotten into this industry. It's just too much stress. I'm really disappointed in myself. And now Christy's going to be alone. Like, fuck, we're going to have to go undercover. Hang on. So we have identical lives. So they have a wife and kid as well.
Exactly. And they know you. You're like friends with them. It's your friend. You go to dinner dates with their kid. Their kids and your kids are friends. See,
this is the problem I have, right? You say you throw your friend on the bus, right? They die. They get tried as they die. They get put over TV. Their eldest son's going through an emo phase, and then he starts to spiral completely out of control, and then he ends up building a militia army that becomes a terrorist against the government I work in and around and looks after my family, and he ends up making the next 50 years of the life there really, really fucking horrible. So if I had just taken the bullet in that moment, then Hitler II won't necessarily be coming around. The chain reaction of events is what I have a really, really big problem with, because it's not necessarily it's not necessarily you, but I don't know what Oscar might do. I don't know what your babies might turn around and do with the trauma of losing you and you being a traitor. Like, you just don't know what happens. It's not necessarily
that's a decent point. I like it, because you could at least talk to your family from your side and go like, I'm doing this to save my best friend. We were both at fault. Technically, we should both die. One of us has to go. It's got to be me, because at least I can have a conversation with you about what's going on, and we can make sure you don't become a terrorist. That's a good point. I would just, or a terrorist or whatever, right? Like, and
yeah, you know what? I've convinced myself. I'm throwing myself under the bus because I can litigate the least amount of damage that I can litigate is by doing it myself, because it's what I've got the control over. And I'm worth 3 times more dead than alive. So that also helps. So my family's going to be fine. And if I then go out, I'm going out, I'm a martyr. Oh my God, I'm going to be so impressive. No, I'm throwing myself in front of the bus.
Okay. With the martyr thing's a decent enough point too. It's just, what about if you think about it this way? If you throw yourself under the bus, you've lost all control over the situation because you're done for. So at least this way, you know, to go watch out. Like, if I throw my friend under the bus, I'm going to go to that family and I'm going to go like, I can watch the rhetoric that gets put into them about the whole thing. I can be like, do you trust your friend to make sure your family is taken care of? In the end, I'll take care of their family. I'll go make sure. I feel bad for this whole thing. I'm getting out of intelligence now. I'm a trucker now. You know?
No, I'm not taking. I don't trust you as far as I can throw you. You're not account. You you go push Christy in the mud and take the money for me. You go in there and say that you were my beneficiary. I know you would. I know you. I can smell it from here. No,
and maybe I might go in there and try and get my slice of the pie. Who says I won't? If that's what you would do, because we're the same, then that's what I might do.
See, the only problem is you don't know what the conversation is that I had with Christy the night before. So you're sitting there going to Sarah. You're like, oh, look, I'm going to go and throw Beau under the bus. I'm then going to go look after her family, make sure everyone's okay. And I'm sitting there and I'm going to go, I'm throwing Richard under the bus. It was all his fault. And then you go there first, and then you throw me under the bus, and then Christy sees you walking up to come grovel to her. She's going to, we don't have guns here. She's going to go get a blunt object, and she's going to take care of you because I've already told her that you're the problem. You don't have a conversation beforehand.
That's true. I don't have what you gave her as a preface to why you didn't come home that night.
My God, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to tell them that I'm going to throw myself under the bus and that she needs to use all of my life insurance money to make you suffer for it.
Yeah, I think human nature is to like just survive, though. I don't think like saying I'm gonna throw myself under the bus would be really hard. I think it would be easier to just, I think you'd have a, like, it's all fine and dandy to say, but put yourself actually there. I think
you're getting shot.
That's what I mean. I think that's the main thing that comes out of this thing is like fear controls a lot of us. And I don't think it really matters what we say. I think most people would just throw their friend under the bus and then pretend they didn't, just so they didn't die. Saying altruistic shit is all fine and dandy till it comes down to it. You could postulate all you want. I just believe that no matter what we say or do, we're going to go for self-preservation in the end. There's very few people, like, we're not all Jesus, you know what I mean?
No.
That guy died for our sins, but I'm not dying for Beau's sins. No offense. I love you to death, but I mean,
mate, the fact you've already lost because you went to religion as your argument point there. You lost. You referenced Jesus as a factual dot point. You just lost.
Yeah, because Jesus is made up too. See, that's what I'm trying to say. Like, Jesus didn't even do that because that didn't even happen.
Oh, what? Sorry, I don't speak, stupid.
Hail Satan. All right.
No, look, I'm as much as I'd like to think, with the money that I would make with my future career being a landscaper, because I'm quitting the intelligence after this is far too much stress. I reckon I could pay for enough therapy for me to be able to come to terms with the potential that Oscar would then try and take over the world. I'm okay to come to terms with that, or pay for Oscar's. No, you know what? Your health insurance can, whatever. I think I can get to the other side of it, but you're going to get shot.
Yeah,
I'm siding with you.
Alrighty, I had a feeling the self-preservation might be the winning card on that one. But I mean,
yeah,
it's a hard one because I do love you, Beau, and I would never want to have to do it. But if it's between me or my family, like,
yep,
you know,
and I don't begrudge that for you at all. If you had to throw me under the bus to make sure that your family survived, then that's what you got to do.
Yeah.
We're in a zombie apocalypse, and you stand in the way between me and my family being safe, I'm going to hatchet you. So
there you go. What I was going to say, as far as zombie apocalypse goes, remember you said you'd just murder someone last episode? Didn't you want to address that?
Yeah, public service announcement. I was talking a lot of shit after I've really gone and thought about it. I don't think I could shoot someone outside of a zombie apocalypse. There was a little bit of me that got confused. Also, don't put me on this path again because I'll end up talking myself around.
I'll end up killing someone by the end of
Who
tonight.
kills someone? But in a zombie apocalypse, there's only like 5 people here. So no, wait. Yeah, there's only 5 people here. Oh no, 6 including me.
All right, Beau,
So-
let's hear yours. Beau's got her lined up, ready to fucking roll.
Okay, so I'm gonna use you and me. So we're the person, we're POV, right? So Richard, unfortunately, touch wood, this never happens, right? Touch wood, this never happens. Yep, that was an impressive noise. You find out that Sarah is now dying of cancer, and
Aw.
it is, very
Is it-
sad. I'm real,
Is it breast
sorry.
cancer?
No,
Thank God.
yeah, that's too far. We're not going to make even jokes about it. Like, we can make jokes about getting cancer, but not ovarian or like breast cancer. Don't be ridiculous. That's horrible.
It's all horrible.
Lung cancer's fine.
Yeah.
No.
lung ca- So she has lung cancer. Okay. I'm following.
Yeah. So they've actually developed a cure for this type of cancer that Sarah has. The company that sells it for $2,000, but the medicine only costs $200 to make. I don't know how we know this, but you know that. Maybe it's from your job when you're working for intelligence. That's how you
Okay.
found out.
Yeah.
But it costs $200 to make, and it's been sold for $2,000. He refuses to sell it to you for less, even when you explain and plead your case about the fact that you can't produce that amount of money right now on the spot. You've had to spend all of your money, all of your children's college funds or whatever it is on the treatments leading up to this point. You're at brass tacks, right? Is that a saying you guys have? Brass tacks?
Yeah. Brass tacks means it doesn't mean what you think it means.
Down and
though.
out.
It means like, no, brass tacks means like get to the point, like the root of the issue, the brass tack.
Oh,
Anyways.
so, but he won't budge. And then one night you decide to break in and steal the medicine. Is it acceptable to steal the medicine in this situation?
No.
So, why, Richard?
I love my wife. I really do. And I love my kids. I love my family more than anything.
Joking?
No, I do. I really do.
Joking?
I'm not joking. I really
But
do.
you wouldn't.
It's the system that we work in now, which is capitalism and democracy. It's just hard for me to justify being able to steal this one medicine.
Oh, shit.
It's a slippery slope. Yes, I would want to. And yes, I would love to try to get the medicine, for my wife in the way I can. But what happens when I get sick again? Do I just keep going back to this guy for cheap medicine? When does it stop? It's a slippery slope. We all have to live. That other guy has to make his money too. And that's not cheap. Yes, it costs him $200, but what's his time to develop it worth? What's his time? We all have worth. It's
Apparently more than your wife's life.
I'd figure out ways to do it around what it costs. It's
No,
just like,
there's no way.
I get a headache now, so I have to just go to the store and like, I can't afford fucking Tylenol. Where does it stop? Where do I have to just this cancer medicine? That's the only thing I'm allowed to do this with,
Yes.
I it's just one of those things where you can't pick and choose. It sucks. Life sucks. There's a lot of parts of life that suck that I can't control. Just because I don't like the price of something doesn't mean it shouldn't be that price. It's not my decision to make it that price. Is my wife's life worth the $2,000? Am I going to earn that $2,000 to make my wife's life a lot better? Yes, I will. I'll go work a lot harder to go get it the proper way. But me going there and begging for something that it's not mine. I can't just tell him how much he should sell it for. It's not mine.
I think we've solved it. The only option you have is to sell your asshole. That's it.
All right, $20 is $20, man. You know what I
Yep.
mean? And
You sell that asshole, you make that $2,000 and you go buy it. I support that.
no, and if it's about my wife, like let's pretend if we're gonna go further into this, if that $2,000 I can't get it quick enough for my wife, or my wife's gonna die, I will suck that cancer doctor's dick to get that day. I'll make up the earnings in other ways. but I'm not going to tell him he should be charging less for something he thinks costs that much. It's not my thing. I wish I invented it so I can make the money, but I didn't.
So to ask the question, would it matter to you if we had additional information saying that he has no, like, there is no reason for him to charge it. He just knows he can get away with it. So he there's no other reason. He just knows that he can get away with it. It's
just one of those things where it's like that, all that does, so now I know. And I'm like, this guy has all the money in the world. He doesn't need to charge this. He's being an asshole. So I go, I should be able to take this for the price I think it should be. So then I go in and I do that and I cause a bunch of chaos, whatever. Then my wife gets it. What happens after that? Am I like in jail? Did I kill this guy to get it? Did I have to like, you know what I mean? Did I go through all that rigmarole, or pay the $2,000 and spend the rest of my life slandering this guy in the media, going to my local politicians and trying to like make my life's work to destroy this man for trying to kill my wife? You know, I think there's a proper way to go about rich assholes like this. And I don't think just taking it because I think I deserve, I think I become them, because this is the kind of shit that a super rich person would do, is like, oh, I deserve it better. Like, no, I'm going to work within the system and fuck his life over for the rest of it. I might be poor while I'm doing it, but I'm going to show everyone why I'm poor and what I'm doing because I had to do this. Like, look at my life turn because some asshole, if I knew this, it would be like, I'd blow it up. You'd be viral. I'd be viral with it. Right?
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Go viral, be like, look at how many dicks I have to suck so that I can get my, get my wife's medicine.
Can you see this one? I couldn't even wrap my fucking lips around this one. It hurt.
You're like, see what I have to do, guys?
See cancer medicine with a dick in your mouth, Richard.
See, this is, so on the yes front, I don't disagree with you. Just going to preference that. On the yes front, though, the way I looked at it was from a strictly post-conventional morality reasoning. So like the level of reasoning that you go from being like a child who it's black and white to then moving into a balance between the ethics of human life and existence versus the rules and regulations that we have. Like, I'll pose another question. You and your friends have gone out drinking and you get in a crash and the DD is desperate, like very badly injured, right? And you don't have cell service, you can't get an ambulance to come out. The car is drivable and you are over the limit, right? But if you drive your friend to the hospital, they might survive. If you don't and no one drives because everybody's over the limit, they will die. I find that from a point of view of the rules, you can't say that you wouldn't steal the medicine, but that you would drive.
I wouldn't drive.
I would drive.
Yeah.
In fact, that's how I lost my license.
There's a reason like drinking and driving has laws around it. It's dangerous. You could kill other people. One person die. Like, I know it's not 100% you're going to kill someone else, but you could fucking definitely hurt someone badly.
So you would let your DD drive?
I would call the ambulance. I would call the ambulance. You can I would shoot flares in the air. I would do something, start a fire. I don't want to start a fire in Australia. That fucking ruins the whole country. I would.
So
there's got to be other solutions. That's the thing, is like.
Okay, so this one's time sensitive. So it's quite, so this in my mind.
As soon as I went, I was like, I might have to drive, because if there's no other option and it's the lesser of two evils, like someone dying versus me trying to get there, then yeah, I might. If there's no phones, nothing, I might get in the car and I might drive.
So then you can't say it's from a point of view that it's from a following the rules.
No, but I mean, if there's no other way around it and you have to do things, then that becomes desperation talk. And then you start getting like different opinions. Right. As far as my wife's concerned, with the $2,000 in the grand scheme of things as a 38-year-old man, isn't that hard to accomplish. Now, if it was $2 million and it was produced for $200, I'd be going in there with an AK-47 trying to get it out of there. You know what I mean? There's a difference in that. $2,000 isn't a huge fucking yes. it's a lot of money. But in reality, am I going to pay 200 or 2,000? I'll pay either of those. I'll figure that out. I have a house. I can mortgage my house. I can do, but if it's unattainable and my wife dies and I don't get it, that's a different story. Now I have to go fucking drive a car into the front of the guy's house and find his wife and kids and put them under a fucking hostage till he just gives it to me. That's where I'm going with that. Right. Maybe I'm going to jail after.
Yeah. So it comes back to the perspective, right? Like it's almost impossible. So it comes down to the values of the rules, right? The value that you in that situation, because and I'm the same. I could scrape together through other people $2,000 to be able to do it. If we change it to $2 million, it changes immediately. We're more likely to bend the rules. So it can't. I feel like we're old enough, but in the 30 age bracket, we're old enough to be able to morally reason. But I find it so fascinating that our go-to is like for the two separate situations, which for fundamentally are identical, we're happy to justify. Well, I'm a lot happier to justify being able to drive a car than rob a house. Drive a car drunk than rob a house in the situations, just from my own experiences and contextualization. It's bizarre to me. So it's so funny how the weighting of human life can change.
It's the difference between that the scientists were talking about with the medicine is huge too. Like the guy making something for 200 and selling it for 2,000, that's a reasonable markup. And this is what happens in all of retail all around the world.
It absolutely is not. No,
yes.
That's gross.
This is what people do.
It does happen. I'm not disagreeing with you.
Oh, I was going to say, like, you think a loaf of bread costs $3 or whatever, it costs 30 cents to make. It's 100 times markup every time. It's not a guy who can make something for $200 and sells it for 2 million watching people die. Go fuck that guy. Right. I don't have respect for that man or that guy's business practices or anything else like that. So then for my morals change to like, this guy's just trying to make a living to this guy's trying to kill my wife. So if this guy's trying to kill my wife, I'm going to go try and kill his wife. You know, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go take his wife hostage.
We have escalated.
No, but that's true though. That's true. I will go into his house and grab his wife, put a gun to her head and say, give me the medicine or your wife dies. You know?
Do you know what? I agree.
Yeah. There's a difference in like that's why money is so, that's why money is so like it's antiquated. It's a fucking old system. It needs to be changed big time because like, I'm not going to say, let's go full blown fucking communist. I get that's not really working either in parts of the world, but we need to be able to govern ourselves in a smaller scale now, instead of like comparing, like there's got to be something else than a piece of paper or digital fucking card that we can all shape value over or whatever, right? Like the pandemic really exposed, I don't know who was talking about this, but this exposed a lot of fucking people for what was so important, what's actually important in the world. Like people working at McDonald's were very much more important than a lot of fucking people that were considered way more important. Like people sitting on Bay Street or Wall Street or bankers and shit. What were they doing? Sitting at home doing jack squat. Well, these people had to go to the fucking firing lines, almost getting COVID every day. So what's more important now? We have to reevaluate importance. And then money's got to be redistributed. It's got to be fixed. It just can't be fixed. So like for $2 million, I'll kill that fucking man's wife to get that medicine. I fucking 100% would. So but for 2,000, I'll just scrape it together and go meh. And this is how capitalism gets us. Just get enough where people don't get so mad, you know, where they'll come and kill our families, but enough where we could become billionaires en masse in quantities.
Yeah, I look in this circumstance, like I think meeting in the middle there and saying that we would happily go. I think. Oh, but then you're breaking the law just as bad. Oh no, you're committing a felony at that point, aren't you?
Well, if I'm going in there, put it this way: if I'm going in there and I have a gun to his wife's head, and there's media circling, and people are like, "What's going on?" I've got talking to hostage negotiators, and I'm just saying, like, "Dude, I wanted to get this medicine for what it cost. This guy still wants to charge me $2 million. My wife dies. What's the point of me living?" There'll be this will change things. This will make a point. People will fucking demonize me for sure, but they'll also demonize that guy for being a piece of shit. So it's worth the risk, right? That's the thing is with money, it's so like, it changes the world. Like people's moralities go fucking out the window so they can get a Jaguar. It's nuts, like, so you can get a more expensive thing. It's nuts. It's crazy. So mine and yours, we're all controlled by it.
Yeah. 100%. Everything that I do for my job can be justified by if it's going to make my wife and children's job better, like that, my life better. Like that's my driving factor for everything. So if it gets me to a position where I'm able to either A, earn more money so that my time is better compensated, or 2, spend more time with them, those are the 2 driving factors for me. So if, like, being in the job now, I'm able to spend a lot more time with my kids and wife than I was before. So that feels like it's more like it's more valuable to me. But if I was working just as hard before, or if I got paid more money, I would it's got to be justifiable of the impact that it has on my family is really, like, it's all that really matters to me. It is the only thing that matters.
No, I know. And that's to a psychopath capitalist businessman, they capitalize on people like us. They look at us like, oh, there's fresh meat. They're family, right? Oh, okay. All day Saturday morning, we're going to play commercials for toys because they love their family and they'll get those toys. All day in the evening, we're going to scare them into like having to go buy the things that'll protect them. So cha-ching, their family's safe now, right? And in reality, it's not any more safe or any more happy, or right. It's just fucking, they got me too. Trust me, I fucking love my family and I'll protect them any way I can. Like I said, I'll fucking shoot some lady in the face to get the medicine. Yeah. I'm down.
No, I'm not quite at the point where I can, maybe I just, no. I'm right in that weird space, right? Like I grew up below the poverty line. Like I grew up extremely poor, and I have such trouble spending money because of that growing up. I've got the same issues with like food. Like my sisters and brothers, we all grew up eating our food like this, like shoveling it, like our arms around it, because then if you weren't first and there was a scrap of food, like they were fucking with vultures, like it was coming. Yeah. Like I used to take 4 of the processed fruit sticks to school so that my brothers and sisters could have the last bits of bread for their because I'm the eldest.
You guys ate like you were in jail.
Yeah, pretty much. It was rough, but it made me have a very warped sense of money, and I'm not good at spending it in the slightest. So I have a lot of trouble buying anything that I can't see reusable value in, and even for the kids. Like I struggle with that sort of stuff because I'm like, I always like I could be spending my money on something else more important. I don't know what that is.
I'm with you. I have the same. I grew up the same way. I wouldn't say. We just lived in the middle of nowhere. So, and my mom was in school. Like it's not like what you were just saying. Wasn't like below the poverty line. I shouldn't underestimate my childhood, but we definitely had our
no one knows.
Woes.
You can just say whatever the fuck you want.
No, I know. It's just, I don't want people to, I don't want to paint a wrong picture of myself. That's not in reality. We weren't covering our food so our brother couldn't come in and steal the food. Like I wasn't doing that.
My wife picked on me. Hey, she's like, why do you eat like that? And I was like, because we met when I was 18. She's like, why do you eat like that? And I was like, I
don't know. Yeah, when I was a kid, actually, maybe this is kind of a side tangent, but my mom used to be like a social worker. She used to work in the group homes for mentally handicapped, or I don't know what we're saying nowadays.
That sounds about right.
Handy-capable people. Anyways, we had this one lady named Judy who was Jude's. Yeah. And she was a native lady, a indigenous or around here lady. And she grew up in
the group Inuit, homes. Or are you not allowed to say that?
No, she was just indigenous. She was like, I don't know what would be around here. I don't know where exactly she's from specifically, gotcha. But I know she grew up in and around the residential schools.
Gotcha.
Right? But she was also handicapped, like mentally handicapped kind of person. So she was, when she'd come out, she didn't have any family. So my parents we'd always have her over for Christmas and Easter and all the big holidays. And she would stay at our house for weeks at a time. She was just part of the family to a point. It was really nice of my parents to like take her in, and she never had that before. But she was the same way. She would eat like that because she was in the residential schools, and she was the weak one because of her mental illness. So she would definitely cover everything. And if you couldn't even be like, hey, Jude, what's up? Can you pass me the ketchup? She'd like, leave me alone. You know, she couldn't discuss it around her. So it was really sad. And you make me think of my mentally handicapped sister-in-law, Judy, when you tell me the story. So
I'm taking that for the compliment you meant it to be. Oh, God.
That's the sound of money. Fresh, printed money, 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 money.
I just watched Private Dicks, and I think RJ is the funniest.
what? Come on.